So I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but I want to speak about um, the subject of ego and higher self that people in the spiritual community talk about. And I've been, I've never been an atheist, but in the first part of my life, I was very, very against God because I had a very traumatic childhood. So as a teenager, I hated God with all my being. But I never thought there's no God. Like, I don't know why. I always believed there is a higher power, and I hated this higher power until my 20s when I had an experience with Jesus or Yeshua, how I like to call him. And it was a real experience for me. Of course, it was not like like it was, yeah, an experience that made me feel the love of God for the first time in a very personal way, and that um, opened up the path of Christianity for me. So for some years I went on that path, which eventually led me to more trauma. And I ended up leaving the path of Christianity and taking the risk of feeling lost again. And now I'm kind of in my 30s, finding my way back into spirituality, into a personal and empowering and owned spirituality. Um, Sovereign and autonomous. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying, but you got the idea, I guess. And I can see that the subject of ego is something that is, present in all spirituality styles, religion or non-religion or whatever. And it seems that everyone looks at it as something negative and something you have to overcome, something you have to leave it at the door if you become spiritual, something you have to kill even, or at least make it hungry. Not feeding the ego. The ego is something that is selfish, but I start to see that I think that I am this being that has an ego, an identity given at birth, like my name, and I'm having a certain ethnicity. I get born in a certain, country and culture and city and family, and it's kind of some sort of identity ascribed to me. Like I'm not picking it up. I'm not choosing it. It's not a free thing. I'm just born into it. So I will be restricted into that context. And that's the ego. It forms, it builds in time. Of course, after a while, I also, build it up consciously or unconsciously with my own things. And I become this person who I am in the world. That's the ego identity that I have in the world and is recognized by the world. But there is another thing in me, which is, I call it the deeper self, or you can call it the higher self. I believe it's just the inner part, the inner self that no one has access to it but myself. And that deeper inner self is unlimited, and it's always been unlimited, and always felt free inside of me, and it's not bounded by these limitations of ethnicity and that I'm a human, or there's something very, very expanded and very free inside of myself, wild, untamed, unknowable, unnamed, like something. We all know it, and we put our hand here, like it's deep. So I come to this conclusion now, after all my, spiritual trips, that I, as myself. I am not just this ego that appears on the screen with this body and this identity that you don't have access to because I'm just virtually into your screen now. But I appear into the world through this ego. I have an appearance, I speak this language, I speak this way, I like these things, whatever. And I also have this deeper self that I have access to and I can connect with, and I can let it more outside, flourish outside of myself, or I can suppress it. But I am both of these things. And I believe that what my mission is a big word, what I'm about to do on earth is to express this deeper self through this ego. So I, this being that I am, ego being and deeper being, I become one. I'm one. I can be one. I don't need to give up my ego, my preferences, my style of speaking, my identity, ethnicity, identity, language, whatever limitations, my humanity, my that's my ego. That's what's given to me when I come into this world. But this is just a vessel. The ego is a vessel, a limited vessel through which I can express my deeper self. I can express and I can know myself through these limitations. So ego is nothing bad unless, you look at it very in a negative way, and it can become very bad and selfish and destructive and all those things. But from my perspective, ego has nothing to do with like there's nothing wrong with the ego. It's just something that as a human you have. It's part of this being human. So this is my morning mumbling, and I'm doing some sort of um, new hobby. And I got inspired to record this message for myself and sharing with others because I'm exploring something here. So have a blessed day, and